Alright, let's just get to the point. No intro needed. Bungie has released a prologue event in D2 right now that's going to last the last couple of weeks before we launch the Heresy episode, and they're just giving away a bunch of goodies for very minimal effort through a Bento box / token system, so we're going to go over how you can efficiently get all these done very quickly and get your rewards. Key thing to note here is that this is a weekly thing, so you get more tokens next week. You also seem to get more tokens or boxes when Xur arrives on Friday. I assume it's going to be some sort of system where maybe he sells boxes for strange coins, not sure yet. But you can get stuff right now, except for Shatterwhite. Shatterwhite, you need to seemingly get 5 boxes, not hand in 5 tokens like the Twid mentioned. So it seems to be time-gated until Friday, which, I mean, it's a couple of days, it's not a big deal. But I thought I'd mention that now because people will definitely ask, like, why am I not getting Shatterwhite? So, let's go over the quests and the rewards. Initially, you're going to talk to the Drifter, and he's going to give you 4 different quests, plus a completion quest to get Shatterwhite, and you will need to do a set of objectives, and then those objectives will make you go to Eris on the Moon to look at the limited time event rewards. Here's the rewards. You can get 2 Ascendant Alloys for a token, 2 Ascendant Shards for a token, 1 Exotic Cipher for a token, or you can get 25 spoils per token, which means right now, currently, at Tuesday Reset, you can get 125 spoils, and then you can get more on Friday from Xur, and then on Weekly Reset, I assume you would get even more. So if you wanted to stack up on spoils to get one of the exotics from the kiosk, I actually made a video about this yesterday, farming spoils, you can get Legend of Acrius, or Anarchy, or Taraba through this just by handing in tokens for spoils if you want. There's also the mementos you can get from them. They each cost 1 Bento token. I personally, if I was going to pick any of these, I would go for the Lost Memento. I think it's the best one out of all of them. It's even better than Super Black, in my opinion, but that's only if you want to go for these specifically and you don't need, like, you know, spoils for exotic and such. The Artifice Armor, I think, is pretty trash tier, if I'm being completely honest. I think you can literally get seasonal armor that's better than this. It's really just not worth the tokens, and it costs you 2 instead of 1 on top of that. Lastly, there's some weapons you can get. First up is Cloud Strike. It costs 3 tokens, but I do think it is actually worth getting this if you don't already have Cloud Strike, if you're a new player. It is a very solid sniper to get, probably just behind Still Hunt on Hunters. Then there's some legendary weapons you can get that are also really good. Cataphract Adept here is the second best Strand GL in the game now, behind Wicked Sister. You can get an Adept version with Envious Assassin and Bait and Switch. This pretty much is the god roll, minus here you would want spike grenades, but other than that, if you don't have a good Strand GL already, then I highly recommend that you pick this up until you get a better one. We have Igneous Hammer. It's not the best roll, Precision Instrument's okay, but if you've never had an Igneous Hammer, it's a very good feeling hand cannon to shoot, at least in my opinion, so if you're not missing out on anything else here on the list, you can get that. And lastly, you have Riptide with Chill Clip. It's a very good fusion rifle, one of the few weapons in the game where I would like to use for Chill Clip in PvE content, also very solid as a choice. And then lastly, you have Horror's Least. I personally just don't find anything interesting about this weapon. I wouldn't waste your token on this. That's just me. If I was going for weapons in order, I would go with Cloud Strike, then Cataphract, and then Riptide in that order. Now let's go over the objectives you need to complete in order to get these tokens to get your goodies. The first one is a Dubious Bento, where you have to, unfortunately, load up Gambit and get 10 Dubious Celeries collected from enemies in Gambit. It's pretty simple and easy, just 1 match should get this part done for you, and then you don't have to be in Gambit anymore. Then there's collecting 10 Sentry Eggs by defeating enemies on the Moon. This is actually perfect because this ties in with the other objectives we have to do, which also feature on the Moon. Speaking of which, another one of the quests is called Nightmare Lunch, which says complete activities on the Moon, and then bonus progress is awarded for Nightmare Hunts. You need 60 points total, and Nightmare Hunts will give you 25 points each. So, ideally, you want to boot up 2 Nightmare Hunts. The Skullhouse one is probably the fastest one currently this week. Each of them give you 25 points. You'll be 50 out of 60 after you complete 2 of those. Then, you can either do 2 Lost Sectors, which give you 5 points each, and then you'll be done with the quest, or you can do 4 waves at the Altar of Sorrows. So, I personally would just go with the Lost Sectors, because the altars might be a little long, especially for wave 3 and 4. Now, while you're doing both of those quests that I just mentioned, you can passively do a third one of these quests called Martial Mementos, which states, get final blows with Malfeasance, Witherhoard, Touch of Malice, Whisper of the Worm, Xenophage, or Arbalest. So you can passively do this. I personally would pick Malfeasance and just get kills while you're doing the Nightmare Hunts, or the Altars, or the Lost Sectors. And then whatever you have remaining, you can just boot up Shirochi at the Wish Wall, go there, whip out Malfeasance or Witherhoard, and then just put it on the ground, and then kill a bunch of Thrall. It should take you 2 runs to get that done, and then this third quest will be complete. And now we're moving on to the final one. The last quest is called The Stuff of Legends. Technically, this is the hardest one, but not really. It says, finish final encounters in any raid or dungeon, and raids provide additional progress. I assume a raid boss completion is just a one and done, or you can complete 2 dungeon final encounters. In this case, I think the easiest thing to do is just get a dueling Karu checkpoint, boot that up with a buddy, switch characters, kill her twice, and then you're done. Just bring a Consecration Titan to kill the Knights, and then a Warcliff to just nuke her into oblivion. Very easy, very simple, and in total, this should all take you maybe an hour to complete. Again, I want to reiterate, once you complete all of these quests, you will be at 4 out of 5 for Bento boss completions. I assume this is just counting actual quest completions and not actually handing in the tokens, like the Twid mentioned. So you'll be at 4 out of 5, but it seems like on Friday, you would just go to Zur and be able to complete the last one to get Shatterweight, so don't panic about being like bugged or anything like that. So that's pretty much it. Hopefully this helps some people out there get some goodies that they otherwise would not have. If these quests happen to change and do something different for week 2 on next Tuesday's reset, then I'll do an updated post on that. But in the meantime, if you did enjoy the video or it helped you, please consider subscribing today. It does help the channel grow and is much appreciated. If you want to go the extra mile, you can leave a like or comment below as well. If you don't know what to comment, you can leave Memento as the comment. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.